Okay. Serial port programming. As we know, microcontroller 8051 has 5 different ports. Out of them, 4 ports are parallel ports and 1 is serial port. In serial port, at a particular time, you can send only 1 character, that is 8 bits. The concepts that you should remember is baud rate, which means the number of symbols which are sent per second. Gross bit rate is number of bits which are sent per second. Then if n is the number of bits used to represent a symbol, for example, an ASCII character is represented using 8 bits. So then n becomes 8. And m is the number of different symbols, then fs is equal to r by n, that is rate. N is equal to log m to the base 2. This baud rate is programmable. That means you can send the data in different baud rates. For that purpose, we use the timer 1 in mode 2. We know that there are 2 timers and both of them can be used in 4 different modes, 0, 1, 2, 3. So in this case, we'll be using timer 1 in mode 2. So that means using timer 1 in mode 2, the baud rate of the program microcontroller can be changeable. The machine cycle frequency is considered to be the crystal frequency divided by 12. This is the standard conversion. The values in SCON register, SM0, SM1, these 2 bits indicate the different types of serial mode, communication modes, 0, 1, 2, 3. So serial mode 1 will indicate that we can change the different frequencies. So that is why we'll be using it for mode 1. The oscillator frequency of 8051 is 11.0592 megahertz. Machine cycle frequency is the frequency divided by 12 as per the standard equation. It becomes 912.6 kilohertz. The 8051 serial communication is UART, that is Universal Asynchronous Receiver Transmitter. So it divides this machine cycle frequency by 32, which gives 28,800 hertz. So all these are standard values, you have to remember them. Let BR be the required baud rate. So whatever the baud rate we require, depending on that, we have to find the value of TH1 register of timer 1. So this TH1 should be loaded with the value which is equal to 100H minus 28800 divided by BR. Now these are the calculated values for 9600 baud rate. TH1 is FT and it is in hexadecimal. If you consider the decimal number, then it is -3. So the conversion of -3 to hexadecimal is shown here. So similarly, these are the values. So they are easy to remember: 9600, 4800, 2400, 1200. As the baud rate goes on decreasing, the TH1 value also goes on decreasing. So it's from -3, -6, -12, -24. Then T-mode register should be loaded with the value 20H. This is for mode 2. Then TH1 is the should be loaded with the value which has been calculated. SCON register is 50H. That means it is in mode 1. Then REN can be enabled or can be disabled. So it can be either 50 or 40H. It makes no difference. TR1 is set initially so that the timer 1 is started. TI flag is cleared so that the timer 1 starts actually calculating. Then the character which is to be transferred will be written in SBUF register, that is serial buffer register. Then while the transmission is going on, the TI register which was cleared, it will remain to be 0. When the transmission completed, TI becomes set. So you have to monitor the value of TI. So when it is set, you can transfer the next character. So this is the logic of the program. Then, if you have any doubts till this,
Ma'am, why is tmod loaded with 20H?
because the timer should be selected is timer 1, and it should be in mode 2. Mode 2. So those are the values. You can see the meaning of tmod register. Every bit represents those values. So
Okay, and timer 2 cannot be used here.
You don't have timer 2. You have timer 1 or timer 0.
So timer 0 can't be used here.
No. It is fixed that you will be using always timer 1 only.
Okay.
Any other doubt? Shall we go to the programming part now? Execute the program. Okay, fine. As per the problem statement given, it is expected that you should transmit 5 characters PICT and a star, so that the output will be PICT star, something like this. It is not necessary that you should transmit only these characters. You can do anything, as I said to some of the students, that you can transmit your name also. There is no mandate, nothing is mandatory there. So the program goes like this. In tmod register, you store the value 20H. TH1 is -3. -3 is for 9600 baud rate. Then SCON register is #50H. So it can be 40 also. There is no difference in that. Then TR1 is set, so that the timer 1 is start. Then the accumulator is loaded with the value P. Either you can write P within the double quotation mark, or you can write the hexadecimal equivalent of ASCII value of P. So if you know the ASCII values, you can directly write them. Otherwise, writing the character in quotation is easier. Now, you copy the data to be transferred in accumulator, then call the function trans. So in the trans function, the value present in, okay, the question here is it compulsory to take 9600 baud rate? It is not compulsory. You can take any baud rate. Okay. Now, in the trans function, the value in the accumulator is copied to SBUF, that is serial buffer register. Then once it is done, your data will be transferred to the serial port. So that will be like until your TI, the TI bit is no 0. So you have already set this bit, so this will be equal to 0, then it will get continued. Then once it is done, clear TI, then again return to here. So this will be continued until your all the 4 characters are completed. Then again sjump, again go to this. Again next PICT characters are displayed, then star is displayed, again continued. So this will be an infinite loop. Now, let us execute this program. I have already compiled it. This is the window that you require, the UART window. I'll just show you how you can see it. So this is the icon where you have serial windows UART1. So here you get the output of your program. There is no meaning in executing this program step by step. Let us completely execute it. So using the run instruction. Now you can see it is being displayed. Stop it. So now the program execution is stopped. Few characters are displayed on this UART. When the last bit is transferred, the TI becomes 1, so it becomes set. So you will come out of this loop at line number 19, if you can see. Okay, then now, so this is the execution part of the program. Now you have to analyze in the sense you are executing this or the transmitting the data in 9600 baud rate. So how to verify it? So to verify this, we have some calculations. It's already given in the PPT. Can just go through it. These are the formula. So as per this, baud rate is equal to the number of symbols which are transferred per second. The time is equal to the 1 by actual frequency into number of states which have been occurred. Baud rate is equal to the number of symbols into frequency divided by number of states. The actual frequency is 11.0592 into 10 raised to 6 into number of symbols divided by number of states. But the number of symbols that we transfer, so each symbol has 8 bits, the ASCII value, 1 start bit, 1 stop bit. So total the number of symbols bits will be 10. So actual number of symbols will be equal to the number of symbols that we see into 8 divided by 10, that is 0.8. So we can use this formula to calculate the baud rate. So how to calculate this? You can see the number of states present here. It is 588,09622. To calculate the number of characters which have been transferred, right click on UART, copy this data to clipboard. I'll paste my data. So this is the output window. Now you can go to word count, find the number of characters. So number of characters are 60,666. It will vary depending on when you stop your program execution. Now you can use the calculator to find these values. Actual number of symbols is 60,666. Was it? Yes. Into 0.8 into 11.0592 into 10 raised to 6 divided by the number of states. Number of states in this case is 588,09622. So it's almost 9,126. So you don't get exactly get 9,600 because we are not counting the number of states which are used only for the transmission. We count the number of states starting from the program execution with all these move instructions and all. So actually for the transmission, the states which are considered for move instructions, call instructions should be neglected. But for this time, this is enough. You get the value which is nearer to the 9,600 baud rate. So this will be the program execution that is expected. If you have any doubts, let me know. Okay. Okay, I hope everybody has seen this PPT sent by me for displaying character on LCD. LCD is a device. The one which we use to connect to the microcontroller is a small display which is used to display the characters in 2 rows in 16 columns. So the one which we use is this 16:2 LCD. This display has 16 pins, 2 rows and 16 columns. So it means the display can display 32 characters at a time. Each character varies depending on the display. If it is 5:8, it is shown in this way: 5 columns, 8 rows. It can be 5:7, 5:10, depending on the manufacturer. The one which we have in our college is 5:7 display. So depending on the number of pixels used to represent a character, we can calculate the number of pixels for the display. Now, this is the pin diagram. It has 16 pins. We can see the pins one after the other. So ground, VCC, and control pin. Then register select is a control pin. which is used to select a particular register. There are two types of register, command and data register. So we shall see what to do with that. Then read-write pin. Though it is a display device, it can be used as input or output device also. Generally, it will be used as output device, but in few cases, it can be used as input device. Then enable is the control pin, which should be held high for your read-write operation. 0 to 7 data bits, that means it can transfer 8 bits at a time. Then LED positive and LED negative, these two are the pins which are used to illuminate the LCDs. Now, registers in LCD are two, as I said, command register and data register. So data register simply stores the data which is to be displayed on the LCD, and command register stores the instruction which should be given to the LCD. The instruction can be of the type initializing the LCD, clearing the screen, setting the cursor position, etc. So register select is a register, a bit, a pin on the LCD. If it is equal to 1, then data register is selected. If it is equal to 0, command register is selected. Okay. We have 10 minutes left. Let me explain the program. LCD can work in two different modes, a 4-bit mode or an 8-bit mode. That means the data can be sent to the LCD nibble by nibble if it is in 4-bit mode, which is mostly used, and it is in 8-bit mode when the data is sent 8-bit at a time. So when you compare these two, 8-bit is faster, but the disadvantage of using 8-bit is all the data lines are used by the microcontroller. Whereas if you use 4-bit, only 4 lines will be used. Others can be used for different purpose. And as I said, two different modes, read and write. Generally, it will be used in display mode, that is output mode, write mode. Then these are the hexa code commands to the LCD instruction register. You have to remember all these things. When it is 0, 1, it is clearing the display screen, and so on. This is how the connection is to be done for the microcontroller. Port 1 of microcontroller is used to connect the data lines of LCD. That means when we want to display something on the LCD, the data should be transferred to port 1 of 8051. And then from port 1, the data will be transferred to data bits of LCD. And when you give the instruction like display, so these data will be displayed on the screen. I'll just show you how actually the program works. Okay. This is the program. As I said, we'll be using 5x7 matrix LCD, which is present in our college. So accumulator should be loaded with the value 38H. So this is 38, 2 lines and 5x7 matrix. So this value comes from here. Then you call the function command subroutine. Then after the delay, then again this. So this is a repeated procedure where you go on displaying something on the screen. And in the command instruction, the data will be passed to the port number 1, and then the delay is called and the data is actually transmitted. I'll just execute the program and I'll explain the program in the next session. Now these are the ports. The ports are available from the peripheral devices. I'll just show you. IO ports. So these 4 ports are available. You can just see to it. So when I click on this, port 0 is displayed. So now at present, what you can do is execute the program, observe the data at the parallel port number 1. So this will be connected to the display. We need to calculate the hexadecimal code of the object code of this program. It should be connected to a device which is connected to the LCD, and the data at port 1 is transferred to LCD, and there actually the data is displayed. So this is what is expected. So at the end of this, I'll send you a YouTube video link where the actual transfer of data is done and the LCD is used for the display. You can just go through the video. Now let me run the program. Observe port number 1. The values goes on changing there. So as of now, executing this much is enough. So if time permits, after the college reopens, we can actually do this experiment using the LCD also. So we have hardly left with 4 minutes. If you have any doubts, you can ask me. Line by line explanation of the program can be done in the next session on Monday.